we'll recommend those people. There are also some recipe sheets for you to take away if you want to at the end of a demonstration, and we'll go from there. Right, this is Dominic. He's going to start off with a marinated salmon, Benromach peat smoked salmon. So what we're doing here is we're using Benromach peat smoke to infuse into the salmon and put its flavours in before we eat it as gravlax. Right, here we have the obvious, been stating the obvious. And I am going to state the obvious quite often because that's what happens in demonstrations. We have Dominic here grating a lemon, and that lemon is obviously used to enhance the flavour of the salmon. Very quickly, we can be doing this, at breakfast time, because quite a lot of us we dram at breakfast, and just before people come for a lunchtime barbecue. He's now going to use orange, and this portion will be serving around 4 people. 500 grams of fresh Scottish salmon, 150 grams of salt, 50 grams of granulated sugar, 2 lemons, zest grated and the juice extracted, 1 orange and the zest grated and the juice extracted, and some coriander seeds and white peppercorns. Now, as fast as I'm speaking, he's going to have to work really fast. A handful of fresh dill, finely chopped, and that's going to be patted on the top. That's the salt going in. Or sugar, sorry.
Is that how much time you spend in the kitchen?
It's about 20 years since they've allowed me in the kitchen because I tended to lose my temper quite a lot, but never mind. Gordon Ramsay, eat your heart out. This salmon's come along from Port Soy. So that's it, it's done. Now what we would do back at home is pop that back in the fridge and leave it until you're ready. However, in good Blue Peter fashion, we have a little bit that we prepared earlier. That's it. Yep. Right. It's just been pointed out to me by my wife that we leave this in the fridge for 12 hours. Okay, so we can do this bit the day before our friends arrive. And that's the coriander and the dill, is that? Dill just lying on top. And that flavour will have gone in. Now the reason that we've used, I've come back because we are on the land of Benromach here, land of Benromach. We've used this expression because of the smoke in it, okay? And that just gives a very, very light smoked flavour to the salmon, okay? And I highly recommend, this is the smoked expression of Benromach is probably one of my favourites of all the expressions, and there are several expressions of Benromach. Now you see Dominic here is thinly slicing the salmon. Does take a little bit of practice, I have to tell you, but if you don't feel comfortable doing it quite so thinly, don't panic. Now we're going to use rocket, and this rocket happens to have been grown in our garden up at Nakomi. Rocket has a very mustardy feel to it, flavour to it, which is goes again well with the gravlax. Highly recommend that we start growing some of our own vegetables at home. Rocket, to be honest, this is the self-seeded stuff from last year that we picked, and it's really, really tasty. And we're also going to serve it with some vine tomatoes. Okay. Nothing too posh. Served on a nice plate, and that is the Benromach peat smoked gravel axe. And that's the starter, done deal. Right, well done. Oh, thank you. Well done, Dominic. Okay, I'm now going to send a can over to my colleague, Jock Gibson from Macbeth, who's going to tell you a little bit about his lamb and eventually his beef when we come on to the beef, and we'll go from there. Jock.
Okay, I'm from Macbeth in Forest. We live just in Tolbooth Street. What makes us slightly different from everywhere else is that we're taking produce a lot from our own farm and it's going through our shop. Mainly we're beef farmers, but we'll come on to that in a minute. At the moment the dish we're going to be talking about is lamb. The lamb that we get in the main comes from a farm just outside of Granton. We buy it from a Rogan a Bandit, but he produces extremely good lamb. I hope he's not here today. The lamb, it's all black-faced cross Cheviot lambs, all hill lambs, and at this time of year it's the hogget sort of taste, okay? So that's lambs just over a year old, coming on to a more muttony, stronger taste before the new season lamb comes in at the end of May, beginning of June, so we're nearly there. So this will be hogget lamb. As I say, it is a bit stronger. If you're more used to spring lamb, which has got a very mild taste, then this might not be the thing for you. But if you like a bit more flavour, a bit more strength in the lamb, then this stuff's delicious. Okay. This is where I haven't read the recipe. At the moment, Dominic is cutting up some peppers. He's just skinned the insides, and he's now chopping them up into fairly thick slices. It would help if I was looking at the right one. Okay, so that's sort of square sort of chunks of pepper to eventually go on to the kebab. All right. To prepare these probably takes about how long? 15 minutes, okay, for your barbecue? Okay, so not too long in the grand scheme of things.
The great trick with barbecues, and this is where it tends to go wrong at home, because it goes wrong at my home, is that we don't prepare for it. If I'm left to do the barbecue, it's a disaster. If my wife does it, it's successful because she prepares. And if you prepare in advance, then it will be a success. And we all tend to just walk out and expect the barbecue to happen, but if you actually go out there, maybe prepare the day before, marinate the day before, and then do it the next day when your friends arrive, then it's going to be a lot more efficient. One of the tricks with the skewers is to actually put these in water for a whole day beforehand, and that will prevent them burning when you put them on the barbecue. Quite a few people do this. They make the kebabs and they wonder why their skewers are disappearing and burning, because they haven't been soaking them in water for a good 24 hours beforehand. Right, we're using for this, it's a really garlicky lamb kebabs, and really garlicky company based along towards Nairn is one of our local successes. Jock, do you want to talk about the local garlicky company?
Yep, absolutely. Turn the mic up. Okay, really garlicky company based just in Corder. They're growing a lot of their own garlic, mostly at Corder, but they've now got a garlic field at the back of Erne Hill, okay, which is where Gavin and Penny live. So that's a new source of garlic as the company gets slightly bigger. They do a range of products. The main selling point about the garlic is it's an easy peel garlic. Okay, so very easy to use. Especially if you find that using proper garlic a bit fiddly, then it's great. They do a variety of flavours. They have the white bulbs that you see there is the ordinary Patagonian garlic, okay? But garlic we're using, which is the slightly yellower cloves, okay, is the smoked garlic, half-cooked smoked garlic, all right? And absolutely delicious, okay? It's not